it's about that time. You're rocking with your boy Damo Unleashed and Sky Black on the Nashville Caveman podcast. Stay tuned.
Hey, what you got in that bag? Just know that I'm up. Just know that I'm up. I gotta turn up this function, like I'm in the Lotus and punch it. All I'm gonna ask is stay in your lane, and you won't be food for my luncheon. I'm coming up out of the dungeon, cooking up plans to make something from nothing. And since I secured the bag, it's time to do math, so I'ma keep hustling. I thought I had lost my way or something. I am not feeling what they say is busting. They keep us trapping this way, disgusting. If you so happen to catch me flexing, I could be killing the straps all day for learning how to install some chromic crystals on the Escalade. Matching the arm that's on my sternum. I am for the sake of the people, grabbing my Glock and pray to the Lord, cause not everybody tryna be peaceful. I still hope we set the stage for showing them how it's supposed to be, so those that's close to me won't have to ask, hey, what you got in that bag? Just know that I'm up. Just know that I'm up. Hey, what you got in that bag? Just know that I'm up. Just know that I'm up. Hey, what you got in that bag? Let me explain what I'm talking about. Had a joint called down about it. Letting these loud mouths know how to move without sound. Best if we don't even shout out. Midwest, east, west, down south, till we get even or even above. Till then we gon' opt out and educate on the backside. Folk gotta act right and they won't backslide. Just put it together no matter the weather, my brother. So hey, if you dealing with vices in you and it's cutting you up like against you, put it on chill for real, or they gon' just use it against you. You got in that bag. Quiet water. Just know that I'm up.
What is going on, everybody, man? Happy Tuesday. Welcome in to the Nashville Caveman podcast. I am one half of your host, Damo Unleashed, and sitting over to my, it will be my right, is a good friend of mine that is like a brother. So I'm gonna go ahead, roll out the red carpet. Here's the red carpet rolling out, and the floor is yours.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Nashville Caveman podcast. Tuesdays are the best day of the week, right, Damo? Because
my God,
this, right? First of all, I
gotta miss this day.
First of all, I got to give a shout out to my Denver Broncos yesterday. That's why I'm in my Denver Bronco outfit, for putting on a good game against the Bengals. You know, and maybe they won it because Joe Burrow. What's up, I hustle? Maybe because of Joe Burrow, he was out. Did he get injured during that game, or he got injured last?
No,
week,
he
right?
got injured. I think 2 games ago.
2 days
ago.
He got
injured in game 2, the second game.
So, absolutely. So I gotta give a shout out to them and Bronco Nation. I gotta give a shout out to everybody that came to Paraguay, Arkansas for High Mania 2, because y'all know I was the High Mania champion. I won the last cup, but I was not coming back empty-handed. I am now a 2-time High Mania Cup champion.
Ooh, that is cool.
The Nashville Caveman podcast, we are 2-time back-to-back. First ever back-to-back High Mania champions. First ever 2-time champions. Thanks to everybody that came there, whatever. Don't forget tonight, the D-Bling radio show. We have new music. Shouts out to Levi Stress. It's coming this Thursday. Elite One radio show will be played on Thursdays. So that will be all the music that is not played on Tuesday. God, I got so much music. I had to break it down. So Thursdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Tune in. I will promote that one like I do the D-Bling radio show. And don't forget, you can listen to both shows on offtopradio.com. That is offtopradio.com. And we stream them on offtoprecords.net. That is offtoprecords.net. And Damo, speaking of trophies, the So Driven Awards, man, we going into October, my friend.
Man, I am still waiting on artists to get in. So if you're an artist out here, you're looking for an interview, this is a good way to get an interview and have a chance to win not only a trophy, but also money also. So last year we paid out money and a trophy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just not chasing artists, man. If y'all artists out there the door is always open here. You reach out to me or Sky, door always open. I'm just too old to chase, so.
Yeah,
you know how that goes.
They know it's open.
Speaking
That's
of,
on them.
just celebrated the Big 5-0 this weekend, so I turned 50
Congratulations.
this past weekend. And today, happy birthday to my youngest daughter. Her birthday is today. She turned 17. So,
congratulations to her.
Man.
Congratulations.
We went to
Well, hey.
the one I was telling you about at Woolworth Theater. And downstairs, that is called the matinee. I suggest, man, fellas, that is a good, ladies too, that is a good spot to go. Nice seating, nice bar area, the lighting is great. The the stage with the singers. Shout out to Maya and Megan and the band, the live band that they have playing also. I see them guys, man, every day when they do work, which is like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I think it's Thursday and Friday I see them for the most part. Sometimes Wednesday. But y'all want to get down there, man. It's Woolworth on Representative John Lewis Way North. Downtown Nashville, man. If you into that grown jazz club, kind of got a cotton club feel to it to me. That's my kind, I like to dress up. So that's my kind of setting. So. But yeah. Yep. Y'all, we got a whole lot to talk about today. The world is going nuts. We done already had 2 mass shootings. We had a dude run through, he took his truck, drove through a church. And not only did he drive his truck through the church, but he set the church on fire. Went in there and just started, man, letting off on everybody. And then, man, there's a waterfront bar where somebody just decided to go ahead and open up fire on the people, the patrons that's sitting there. So we in a world with a world going crazy. You already heard that they firebombed Ice Cube's tour bus.
Did
you heard that? In Portland. But that ain't the kicker. The kicker is, do y'all know why they firebombed Ice Cube's tour bus?
No.
Because they thought that he was a part of ICE.
See? Ignorance is bliss.
Man, it is absolutely bliss. That's just like, that's diabolical.
That is crazy. What up, Zay? Yeah. Shout out to Rocky, man. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, but this is going to be a great show. I can't wait to get started.
Man, so let me let y'all know what's on deck today. So, I don't know if y'all missed it. They had canceled Jimmy Kimmel, and then they reinstated it after everybody boycotting, and they was, they was dropping their Hulu and and ABC said, hold on, that's too much money, and they reinstated Jimmy Kimmel. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about also some Trump supporters that decided that they was going to go to TSU table and have a debate. And what ended up happening is they ran them off of TSU. So we'll talk about that. We also going to talk about, man, ladies, man. I mean, there's always the conversation of men dating younger women. But what about the older women that are into younger men? Because when they talk about if the old men want to date the younger girls, they say, oh, it's because he want to control them. He's controlling. Right. So we say the same thing about older women looking to date younger men. So we're going to talk about that. And, man, lust. The greatest threat to me.
What up, Zay?
So that's what we got on deck today. The greatest threat to men being lust. And how a lot of dudes do not have self-control, and a lot of kingdoms have fallen. And a lot of great men have fallen because they do not have their sexual desires in control.
Right. They are a slave to their penis. And you're right, John. They need to bring God back into the homes. You're right. I believe.
Yep. And the latest one that we knew was Shannon Sharp. Over 100 million.
He paid out 10 to the girl. Think about it. He paid out 10 to that girl and then lost 100 million in endorsements down the line. Like within the next 10 years, he would have made about $100 million. So that's a lot of money to have being taken off the table because you're with a child, so to speak.
Over some sex? Man.
And you know, to me, it's past just the sex. It's so the United States say that at 18 you're grown, but they just use the term 18 so they can get you to go into the military. At 18, you are not an adult. You're old enough to go into the military, but you're really not an adult. That girl was in her early 20s, right? She still has the mind of a child. So she
knew what she was doing, though.
So he's 50 something. She's 20. So that's almost a 30-year difference, dude. That's like robbing the cradle. Yes, she's old enough to vote. Yes, she's old enough to do this. Yes, she's old enough to have the 6 parts work correctly. But you have to worry about what's going on up here. And there's people behind her telling her, man, it's Shannon Sharp. He's got money. You should do the. And all the stuff that she claims Shannon Sharp did, he probably never did. But he can't prove that he didn't do it. That's the problem.
Oh, they got him on audio.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's saying. I mean, man, it's irrefutable. But you know, he's robbed the cradle, but she robbed the nursing home. I'm gonna tell you, man, man, y'all don't be fooled by these young men and these young women. They know what the hell they do. You know what I'm saying? They come in, they know what the agenda is, and man, don't get caught. Because a lot of times, man, you think they young and they don't know no better. These young folks are way more advanced than we were as kids. And the reason being is because they literally allowed us to be children. These kids, man, they're going after them in preschool trying to have conversations with them about sexual orientation. You know what I'm saying? Everything, they're progressing them very fast. So I think that, poor little, you know, Lisa, Lisa, let them know what the hell they doing. And they use the system to their benefit also. So,
and even if they don't, Damo, somebody around them do.
Oh yeah, of course they're trained. I'm not gonna deny that. They are definitely trained. That is not something that on their own they figured out. No, they're groomed to be like that.
Right. You
know, other times by parents, but y'all know we like to get in the music first, and then we gotta jump right into this, man. This is about to be a crazy show. So let's go ahead, find some music right quick. We come right back. We're gonna get right into our first topic. If you do us a favor though, y'all can do it watching from Bigo and watching from YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. Are you on Instagram also?
Yes, sir.
Are you? Yeah. So Instagram, if y'all can do us a favor, if y'all can share it live, that would do us great help. All right. So share it live. Take this time. We'll be right back with y'all. Y'all rocking with the Nashville Caveman podcast.
I'm on a roll, it's out of control. They watching, the people want to show. I'm on a roll, it's out of control. They watching, the people want to show. Am I gon' fumble? Am I gon' fall? I gotta let them know. Can't stop this flow.
You gon' know my hunger, you gon' know my name. Never did I make it, oh boy, I was a lame. I'm telling y'all stories so y'all can know my pain. And I'ma need a straight jack, I'm finna go insane. Like every day I stayed up, trying to gotta be the best out. Looking at me downfield, trying to run the best route. But you know these corners, man, had to put a curl in. All I do is fail, and I'm looking for my first win. Always fucking broke, I just wish that I can touch green. Trying to lead the hood, cause you know that I can do without. Gotta put my family on, you know that I can't do without. Can't stop, won't stop, baby, that's what this all about, yeah.
I'm on a roll, it's out of control. They watching, the people want to show. Am I gon' fumble? Am I gon' fall? I gotta let them know. Can't stop this flow. Can't stop this glow. I'm about to blow. Can't stop this. Can't stop this. Can't stop this flow. No, 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 no. Can't stop this flow.
Can't stop, won't stop, gotta keep going. These niggas sleeping on me, so let them keep snoring. The best rap alive, and I gotta keep flowing. I'm pulling up like step, man, I gotta keep scoring. And losing not an option, I learned to be a better me. Best rap alive, and y'all others just a letter B. You trying to ride my wave, and these niggas trying to copy me. Wanted that alive, then you know these rappers dead to me. Second place, nigga, that's the best that they can ever be. Can't stop, won't stop, boy, you know I'm the recipe. Running the game for too long, think that I can give it up. Told y'all what a life I'm living, you know I had to live it up, yeah.
I'm on a roll, it's out of control. They watching, the people wanna show. Am I gon' fumble? Am I gon' fall? I gotta let them know. Can't stop this flow. Can't stop this glow. I'm about to blow. Can't stop this. Can't stop this. Can't stop this flow. No, 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 no. Can't stop this flow. No, 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 no. Can't stop this flow.
All right, y'all. So we are right back. Let's jump right into this, right? So, Ice Cube's tour bus in Portland, man, and they went. And y'all wonder why they sending all them National Guard and everything? Here's
New
why,
11
man.
hip-hop icon Ice Cube is speaking out after a fire broke out on one of his tour buses in Portland. It turns out one of the tires of the bus burned while he was in the Rose City for his...
I ain't know Portland was this crazy.
New at 11, hip-hop icon Ice Cube is speaking out after a fire broke out on one of his tour buses in Portland. It turns out one of the tires of the bus burned while he was in the Rose City for his Truth to Power tour. In a statement, Ice Cube said he is, quote, not taking this incident as a personal attack, adding that a, quote, coward like that would burn anybody's property that was out there at the time, end quote. Portland Fire could not confirm the cause, but did say they are investigating. They add the fire was quickly put out and that they vented smoke from the inside of the bus. Glad everyone's okay there.
So y'all need to really go to the internet and see how bad. And when I say they burnt the hell out of his tour bus, they burnt that shit up, man.
So
and
they burned it from the inside?
Yeah, they got on the inside of it, set a fire.
Well, where was security, or was this an inside job?
Man, I don't know. Maybe security was inside with him. Because, you know, he only got so many security.
Mm-hmm.
And if he had one or two outdoors, you know, the last thing I'm quite sure, being who he was, that he thought that he was going to have to worry about that.
Right.
I mean, this Ice Cube and West Coast legend, for Christ's sake.
Right.
So I'm thinking the last thing that he probably thought was, hey, I got to worry about somebody setting my tour bus on fire.
That would
But
be
you
the
know
last
how people
thing.
is.
I mean, it'd be different if somebody was shooting at him from the outside, or somebody went up under the bus and tried to plant something. But they're saying the fire started within the bus. Somebody went in there.
I mean,
So,
they broke the side up.
yeah, so that's kind of scary to me that somebody can get that close to my tour bus. Because what if I'm on it? Then if they can get that close to the bus, they can get that close to me. So he might need to start evaluating on security measures.
Yeah. Yep. And that, you know, and that just lets you know too, like certain places, man, we gotta have a decorum about us to know. Like I know certain places, even in Nashville, there's places I won't go.
Right.
You can't pay me to go to certain places. Not gonna do it.
Right. Right.
And so, you know, knowing the history of Portland, I'm shocked that he even, I mean, this Ice Cube, he come from LA. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But when you get to a certain level, you can't be, I'm sorry. There's a reason why people with money can't mingle with people without.
And I'm starting to see
You
that
know why
now.
they can't?
I'm starting to see that now.
Yeah, because when you got something to lose,
Yeah.
and you up there with somebody who don't have nothing to lose,
Correct.
you know, it ain't gonna be balanced on your side. It ain't gonna go quite your way.
Nope. That's why you gotta be careful who you hang around and who you talk to. Because those that don't have nothing to lose, they don't care what happens. They don't care about jail time. They don't care about nothing because they ain't got nothing to lose anyway. But if you have things to lose, you do have, it's a double standard. You do have to tiptoe on eggshells, because why would you work so hard and then take somebody who's miserable in their life to bring you down?
Right. And unfortunately, and it's the same with the Migos. You know, I think we was talking about this maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Talk about when you get a certain level of money, there's certain places and certain things you can no longer do.
No. And why would you?
Right.
I mean, if you've been blessed to go
get out the ghetto and you're gonna go back in, you're gonna stay in it.
Right. I mean, if you've been blessed to go do things that a lot of people won't do in their lifetime, go do them. Why go back when you've been one of the few that's blessed that can move forward? I don't get that sometimes.
Man. I mean, man, some people learn and some people don't, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of, been a whole lot going down here locally, you know what I'm saying? So it was a big thing with TSU. You had two guys to set up on the TSU campus, and just like Charlie Kirk, and they was doing this in honor of Charlie Kirk, right? They went up, set up a table on the campus, and they wanted to engage in the debate, right? Where universities used to be a place for that, but not anymore. There's certain ones that you can't do that, right? I think the dudes made a big mistake. Is they should have done a lot of research on TSU before they went there and set up a table. But with that said, though, man, it made me think about something else when I watched that video. All right, so let me show y'all exactly what happened at TSU and what the big fuss was about, because there's a big racial thing, right?
Right.
And I think it's a little deeper. I think, man, you know, I really wanted to play this because I want to show y'all something. So without further ado, here go these two dudes.
I think the Fearless tour definitely made an impact on us.
Oh, whoa.
Did somebody just throw something in our car?
Arrest.
Turned away by the National Guard.
All right. So that's what it was, man. You know what I'm saying? What I think I'm shocked about with this kind of stuff is you got police. This is how, you know, man, police they don't even, when any kind of act of even a sign of violence, the cops do not get involved anymore. Because usually you would have thought them having school security, that the school security would have simmered that down and handled that a lot better than what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But they just kind of stood by and watched that happen. But in watching this video, Sky, it took me back and it reminded me of something that we saw not long ago. Now, I know when I show this video, a lot of people are going to be upset by it and they not going to be happy that I'm actually showing this. But, you know, I want to ask y'all, what's the difference in Sky? I want us to go ahead and have this conversation. Because I really want y'all to tell me the difference between the video that y'all just watched, right, in this video.
Guard. The ninth student, Elizabeth Eckford, had missed the call to gather with the others before school. Elizabeth Eckford walked alone and met a mob.
Can you tell me your name, please? Are you going to go to school here at Central High? You don't care to say anything, is that right? This girl here was the first Negro apparently of high school age to show up at Central High School the day that the federal court ordered it integrated. She was followed in front of the school by an angry crowd, many of them shouting epithets at her.
Well, it has to be the most frightening thing because she had a crowd of white people behind her threatening to kill her. She had nobody. I mean, there was not a black face in sight anywhere. Nobody that she could turn to as a friend, except that this woman came out of the crowd and guided her through the mob and onto the bus and got her home safely.
So I wanted to show y'all them two videos. I wanted to ask y'all, man, y'all tell me in the comments or wherever you at, what's the difference between the two? You know,
the one with the TSU, is it TSU or is it FIS? Which one is an HBCU?
Oh, TSU.
Okay, TSU. So the guys that was doing this, did they get the right to the paperwork and the permits from TSU to set up the table, or is it something that they just wanted to do was just set up a table?
They just set up a table, usually most of the time, and I think that's where they should have been different in that, right? First and foremost. And I think that the administration should have been the ones to escort them off. Meaning that the security should have been able to handle that and move them off themselves. But the reason why I showed that is the videos look very, very simple, right? And I just wanted to say this. People talk about races all the time and racism, but you got to be careful, man. You don't turn into the people that you complain about. Like, I don't know if people really paying attention to the graduation percentage at TSU is very low. It's under 40%. I think it's at 30% or even less than that. Why are y'all outside concerned with that instead of in the classroom trying to get that piece of paper that you've been taking out them high-ass loans and grants for?
Yeah, they probably have more people positive for HIV there than they do graduating students, huh? No, the older one, 1956 or whatever that was, the Arkansas 6, whatever they called them.
That's the Arkansas 9.
Yeah, Arkansas 9 to integrate. If you was to ask those black folks, those 9, if they wanted to do that, they would have told you no at the time. But the government forced them to go into that hostile situation. These two guys, I just believe, didn't read the proverbial room. Like, you should have been able to know that, yes, it's freedom of speech. Yes, you are a magma. But please go do it on a campus where it's sort of 50-50. Anybody in their right mind would have told you that TSU is about 95% black people. And even if they're not Democrats, they probably didn't vote for Trump. So that's the two differences I see. These two young white men have the free will to set up the table. The 9 black women, they didn't have a choice. They were forced by the federal government to go integrate this school. So those are the two top differences that I see. But again, if those young white men want to set up a table and talk about what they want to talk about, that's fine. But they have to know their safety first. Why was it just them two? Why didn't they have security with them? Their own security. Do they go to TSU, or did they know nothing about TSU?
I don't think they did enough for their homework. But
yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to.
Here's something I really thought about, right? And I thought this was pretty fun, right? Because you said something that I read in the comments a lot. They was like, they didn't have permission. Who gave them permission? Well, that's funny coming from a liberal school when it's liberals got to ask themselves, well, who's giving these undocumented immigrants permission to come over to the country?
Right.
They don't have permission. So why don't you take issue with the same way you took issue with the men coming there without permission? See, you can't.
They won't do it.
If you got hate in your heart, you can't move the needle. You know what I'm saying? Either you're going to be fully accepting of everyone, or you're not.
Right.
You can't say, well, they didn't ask and they didn't have. But there's a lot of people in the country that didn't have permission to be here. And y'all riding right now, attacking ICE detention centers and protesting and stuff, ICE, because they're looking for people who don't have permission to be over here. So you don't take issue with that, but you take issue with two dudes that just want to they just want to talk. Maybe they got a difference of opinion.
That's true. But that's what I'm saying about them two dudes. After what happened to Charlie, right? The way they set that up, I wouldn't have never done that, because I think Charlie had some type of security, somebody watching his back, right?
Yeah,
right, and they still got to him. Here you two young white boys trying to set up at a damn near predominantly black institution to talk about your beliefs. Just you two? No dogs, no pepper spray, no stutter. You know what I'm saying? That could have easily.
You know what? I get it why they don't though. I get why they don't though, Sky. I'm gonna tell you why. Because man, Jesus, man, when a person is not really, because I'm not well versed in Christianity, but I know this much. Man, when Jesus went out preaching, he didn't concern himself with security. He knew the risk, right?
Right.
And he knew the consequences of it. And I think people who are, Christian, they kind of walk in that same parallel line. They know the consequences. Like Charlie Kirk, he knew that he talked about it. Actually, weeks before it ever happened. He was saying that he will hope that it don't come to that, but he knew that that's what came with it. And unfortunately, we're in a time where we can't even have discussions and conversation anymore without somebody wanting to cause physical harm to you just because they disagree with you. Or they don't want to hear what you got to say, so they'd rather just go ahead and snuff your life out because they don't agree with you. Or they'd rather get violent.
Did you watch the movie Snake Eyes? Somebody brought that to my attention with Nicolas Cage. You know, in that movie, it's happened the same way it happened with Charlie. And I think in that movie, his name was Charlie, but his was Charlie Kirkland. This was just Charlie Kirk. Did you see about that?
I
Hear
heard
about
about
that?
it, but I've never got a chance to watch it. You said it's called
I watched Snake Eyes back in the day, but I never put two and two together.
I'm gonna watch that. I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch it. Huh?
Yeah.
Ask them what year it is. Are they in the comments?
Oh no! This was something prior to this. Yeah.
Okay.
The movie I think came out like in the either late 90s, early 2000s or something. But I remember watching it, but I never thought somebody must have watched it recently to see the comparison to what happened to Charlie Kirk. And I was like, well, damn, you gotta tell me in movies they're predicting what's going to happen in real life? Like, that's crazy.
I think it's so easy right now to make predictions because when you know you're dealing with people who are mentally unstable, and as we seeing that right now, we're seeing that there was a young man that took a weapon with him and committed suicide on the field trip. This is within the last day or two. We live in a very unstable, mentally unstable society. So I think when you go out and when you're standing for something, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know the risk. Like, man, shoot, I don't even have a big name, and you already know, man, people, the little opinion I get, man, the heat that I get, for just my opinion. But we've got to that point where we can't even have a conversation to seek understanding. You know?
To me, people that use violence is the ones that can't use their intellectual skills because that's all they know.
They don't have none. Right. They don't have
if they're losing the verbal battle, then that's when they want to go to the physical battle. And you'll always have those people, always, you know. But I just hope that those two young men, if they just want to have this topic or discussion about their beliefs, just next time do a little bit more research. Hell, go to Belmont. You know what I'm saying? And do it. Go somewhere where it's at least 50-50 or just a little bit more white. Because, like I said, I'm not going to say that everybody at TSU is a Democrat. I'm not going to say everybody at TSU voted for Biden. I'm not going to say everybody at TSU. Some of those black people probably did vote for Trump. But I'm just saying, I would bet some money that the majority of them are against MAGA. You know what I'm saying? So don't ever put yourself in a situation where that ended peacefully, in my opinion. Because if he was in the hood, them two security guards, they all would have been messed up. They all would have been, it'd been on news.
Hey, Faith, I hate to say this, but I think nowadays when you have a conversation at all, it's instigating. I think some people are so mentally unstable that when you say anything that they highly disagree with, they consider it instigating. Right. Because, man, with Kirk, man, he had an open mic. You know, like, you didn't have to go up to the mic, but the whole purpose of his debates was for people that disagree with him to freely be up and have a simple conversation and come to some sort of understanding, right? And it still got him, cost him his life. Same with Martin Luther King, man. He didn't even have a debate. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you speak something that a majority of people dislike or don't agree with, somebody coming for your life. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way with when we had these conversations on the way that men need to address certain things when it comes to women. Like, you got the Kevin Samuels, then you got the Derek Jacksons. Or people be like, well, why can't he have an approach like Dr. Umar? Well, it don't matter, sometimes, man, it ain't even the message. It's the messenger. If people don't like the messenger, this what comes with it, man. You know what I'm saying? Violence comes with it if they don't like you. We've seen...
And a lot of this stuff is going on, Damo, from just everybody's personal life, that this is a way of them expressing themselves, right? A lot of those black kids probably wasn't even upset about the MAGA hats and the two white kids and them sitting at the table. They upset because they have student loans. They Section 8 might be cut off, a family member food stamp, somebody's pregnant, somebody baby dad. So this all could be just personal stuff, and that was a way for them to vent what's going on in their personal lives.
I agree, and a lot of them, a lot of it is, I ain't gonna say I hate to say it because I don't. A lot of them, the parents are like this.
Yeah.
Like, how many times do we get on social media and we see older people older than us fight? It's like, man, you too old for that. Your knees don't hurt. I don't even have the energy. I don't have the energy for that. You know what I'm saying? 2 swings and I'm winning. I don't have the energy. But we'll see, grown folks fight on the internet.
They haven't matured. You think age comes with wisdom comes with aging, right? But I don't believe that sometimes.
Yep. And so, but I'll just say that, man. Man, I just want y'all to take this. Be careful. The things you complain don't become the things that you hate. Because that's the thing about hate, man. Hate will make you become that exact same thing that you hate.
That's right.
And you don't realize it. We're going to move along to this next topic. So, this dude said something. All right, y'all. So, ladies, for my ladies out there that like the young dudes, is it controlling for y'all? Because when men go after the young women, they
you
be
seen
like,
that Tracy Ellis Ross interview where she
he's trying to
revealed that
reach
she
his
only
goal.
date younger men?
Yes, and it was funny because there's also a clip of Kevin Samuel some years back talking about the Tracy Ellis Ross types and why they go after younger men, because that's the only ones that would really deal with her. Like a CEO, a 58-year-old CEO of a Fortune 500 company don't want the Tracy Ellis Rosses of the world. They don't give a fuck about, whatever she's accomplished and, all this bullshit. They want a woman who don't have a lot of mileage, that's gonna listen to them. They ain't gonna be talking back and all this bullshit and acting like, shaking their head and all this nonsense. Yeah. So that's the type of man she would want, though. That's the type of man she would really want. But those type of men don't want her. And this is something that we need to understand. And that's what Kevin Samuels was trying to say. Like, the longer a woman goes single, the less value she has. The longer she's single, the less value she has. But that's not true for a man. Because we just said Shannon Sharpe is pulling 19-year-olds. At 56, 57, because he still has sexual value. You could be single that whole time. You could be a bachelor that whole time. James Bond was a bachelor the whole time and kept getting broads the whole time. He was doing his espionage. They love James Bond. Matter of fact, remember The Odd Couple? Remember the show The Odd Couple? Back in the days? Yeah, with Oscar Madison and Felix Unger.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
about. The Nick Tony Randall, who played Felix Unger, this nigga had a baby when he was like 74 years old. I'm just saying, it's different for men and women when it comes to that type of shit. So, of course she wants a younger dude because she can control a younger dude. She can, you know what I mean? She probably got more money than the younger dude, and you know what I mean? She can make all kind of declarations and, proclamations, and he just gonna have to deal with that shit. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that ain't who she really want to be with. So let's stop fooling ourselves, ladies. Get your shit together. Stop thinking that niggas care about your career and how much money you make or what you're educated. Niggas don't care about none of it.
All right, so there are some things I do disagree with him on.
I think it can go either way. I mean, yeah, we know there's double standards with men and women, but Tracy Ellis Ross, I don't know how old she is, and you find a man the same age, whether they both have money or they both educated or they both successful, it's all in the mind of the beholder. You could be broke and still have Tracy Ellis Ross standards. You could be 60 years old and broke and still only want to date younger people. So it's all in the mindset of the person and what they want before they die. And maybe she has tried to date people her age, and the excitement is gone. Because there are some old men that once they get a certain age, they just want to sit house and watch football every Sunday and grill on the porch. They don't want to do nothing. The excitement is gone. And same thing with some women. So if you of age 50,
I
60,
agree with
70,
that.
yeah, and you just want some excitement, you don't want to grass to grow under your feet, so to speak, then that could be anybody from why they date. That could be why Shannon Sharp was dating younger women. He didn't want nobody to just, oh, my knees hurt, my back hurt, I don't want to hike, I don't want to go skating. He wants a young girl that's like, yeah, let's go parasailing, let's go to the beach. And to me, what he's saying could have some legs to it, Damo, but I just think it don't even matter. It's just in the brain of the beholder.
Man, I think I think to me, there's not really a difference. I think it's more similarities. I think, in my opinion, I think older men do want younger women because younger women are teachable. Not only are they teachable, but they're fertile. And they're not set in their ways. And I think Tracy Ellis Ross, she dates younger dudes for the same reason.
Yeah.
Because a guy that maybe her age that's established as her probably ain't going to listen to her that a way that a young man that don't have what she has. Because at her age and at her success, right? And it's the reason why she want to keep up looking that good. Because, man, them younger dudes, they like, oh, Tracy Ellis Ross, star. Oh, and she got this, and she could do that for me. It's no different than when them young girls get with them older men, and they ain't looking at the aesthetic part of it. They're looking like, hey, he can give me a lifestyle that a man my age can't.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what that's why that dude was able to have a baby at 71. Because he found somebody that was like, I'd rather have this baby here. I know the baby gonna be taken care of.
Right.
Right around the corner anyway. He's gonna pop out any minute anyway.
Thank you. So that's basically a security blanket, so to speak. And if this is how these young people, yeah.
And this is what I was talking about. Them young people are smarter than people give them credit for. Because you got to be highly smart to be 18, 19, 20 and understand that this man, right? Oh, he treat me well and he can give me a lifestyle that this man right here can't. Oh, I'm going to settle in with him. That's why younger women always like older men. Because they had cars. They had jobs. They had things. It ain't even about rich or poor. Just the older guys had things that a lot of younger guys didn't.
Right. And a lot of these young people, Damo, they're not the childish that people make them. There are some mature people. Now, I know I said at the beginning of the show that sometimes being 18 or 26, you're still a child. But there are some mature ones, and that's why they go after older folks, because instead of them grinding, working at McDonald's and going to school, like, hey, I'm here. I already know what I want in life. And if this man who's 45, 50, and I'm 20-something is going to give me the life I need, plus if I have his child, my children going to be okay, I can't knock the hustle.
And men do it too.
Yeah,
they be like, oh, yeah, this old woman, man, I'll go ahead and blow her braids back, and she going to go ahead and put me in a nice car. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have an allowance. All I got to do is just go ahead and give her one or maybe 2 good hours. And then, man, she going to go ahead and feed me. Let me come and go as I please. As long as she can get in touch with me when she want to get in touch with me. Yeah, them young dudes know what they doing.
Mm-hmm. They're going to Kevin Featherline it pretty much. Mm-hmm.
Basically. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And again, I can knock on your door, but I can't knock on your hustle. If that's how you see life, then you can find a sugar mama or a sugar daddy and go right ahead. I ain't messing with it.
And Faith, I agree. She do want somebody that don't talk back. Because, man, a dude that don't have an apartment, don't have a car, what can he say? It is a form of control. So if of course, that's exactly why she wants the younger man, because she can control the younger man. The man that's already established, the CEO, the one that got his own business and whatnot, it's on his terms. So yeah, of course, and I can't knock her for that, but it's no different. That's why I say it's no different. She's just as controlling as the man.
And some of it's not even the age aspect. She's talking about, they talking about CEOs and stuff. Take all that stuff away. Again, how old is she? In her 60s now? Let's just say she's in her 60s. Men that were born back then, whether they have money or not, they see women in a different light than these new generation men. These new generation men, oh, it's cool for a woman to be the head of a household. It's cool for a woman to make more money. It's cool for a man to sit at home and cook and wear the apron. Not no 60-year-old man. They ain't how it was. When he was coming up, no woman was driving. The man did all the driving. The woman stayed at home. She did the cooking and cleaning. The man went out and made the money or caught the food or whatever. So it could be just that, whether it's money or not, that mindset that she don't want. She wants to be equal as a man, but a man in his 60s, he ain't never met a woman coming up that's supposed
he ain't gonna let that happen.
Yeah.
He ain't letting that happen.
Yeah, he ain't letting that happen. No.
Right. You know, and it's, hey, ladies, there's some dudes out there that's like that. If you can get them, go get them. There's a whole lot of men they want y'all to take care of them and whatnot. You know?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to anything in life, right? Life is just a gamble. So, I mean, you know, and if you one of these young people that want to date her, it's pros and cons. And the people that want to date Shannon Sharpe, there's pros and cons. So, yeah, you got to take the good with the bad. But what Lord Jamal was saying, I don't see it as a bad thing because in society, they want old people to just go away and die. Like, if you get 65, 70, just stay in the house and die. Don't come back outside. No, there's some 78-year people out there that's in better shape than I am. Shit, that's jogging, running, swimming. Why would they just want to stay in the house and just die? You know what I'm saying?
Man, let me tell you, Sky, if she was 18, it wouldn't be frowned upon as much as if the guy was 60 and the girl was 18.
Right. And again, I tell everybody, it's a double standard.
Yeah. It's the double standard. So, but at the end of the day, it's all the same. You know, if you're that old and you can find somebody physically attractive and you enough to do that, hey, go ahead and do what you do.
Yeah. But one thing about Tracy Ellis, she's 52. Thank you, Josh. So one thing about Tracy Ellis that Shannon Sharpe, somebody's on her team saying, if you gonna date this young dude, he better sign an NDA. If you gonna marry him, he better sign a prenup. You better have something to protect you and your assets when he cheats, leaves, steals, disrespect. Somebody on Shannon Sharpe end never said that to him, and that's what perplexed me. You literally put your neck out for how is she, 23, 24 now? And you deserved it. And I hate to say that, but you deserve to lose $10 million. Jesus Christ, what was you thinking about? Did she have a vagina like Wonder Woman? Like what? What was you thinking about to lose your fortune to a young lady like that?
Man, speaking of, man, this dude said something. We're going to stay on this subject, right? Because his brother said this, and he's absolutely right, man. A lot of men have fallen because they, lust, man. Lust has been the demise of many, many men. And this dude was on Cam's, having this conversation. I was like, man, he making some very interesting
downfall
points.
of men is what
lust,
sexual temptation. And unfortunately, we're unaware that science has shown us that lust, when you're a slave to it, it negatively impacts the prefrontal cortex, which affects our decision-making skills. So you look at David in his life, here it is, he's king. He had a concubine, right? Okay, look what it did to his mind. One of his warriors. You know, where I'm from, that's a worthy offense to kill David. You know, you gonna sell out your boy for some sex? Even deeper, brother, it falls into a lack of self-love if we really deal on a psychological level. What makes you become a Lothario or a man who's promiscuous, that he doesn't even value his own temple, that he got to sleep with everyone else for affirmation. When I see the damage that it does to his sons, and then the ill effects of that in their graves, and then how statistics show us that homes without fathers, the boys are at a greater risk of being incarcerated, and the daughters are more likely to have or to get pregnant young, and then also reach puberty before it's time, which is now linked, scientists say, is linked to depression. And so the reason I wanted to speak on it was not to condemn Brother Shannon. It was like, look, what can we learn from my brother?
Yeah.
You know, and we're so quick in society, as you were saying, look at the content, but not the context. This has been going on for centuries.
Yeah.
Why does it keep happening? Brother was on his way to sign, what, a $40 million contract for a podcast, or more than that? Yeah, okay. And we still, not him, we see a good-looking woman. That just happened to us. I want to hit that. The scriptures say, a man without self-control is like a city without walls. You know, in ancient times, the walls were the protection of the city. So without self-control, your mind is impenetrable to sin, your weaknesses, your flaws. You can't even have the foresight or the wisdom to see that if I make this decision, this is going to cost me not only my wife, my family, not only my reputation, not only my business, but for most importantly for me, the scriptures say our God is blasphemed amongst the Gentiles because of us. I got too much to lose, hence why I teach men it ain't good enough just to be in love with your wife. That's gonna keep you on the path. You gotta fear the Most High. We have this concept as men, what? I'm gonna hold you accountable, bro, you hold me accountable, right? That's impossible, unless I plan to live every second of my day with you.
That's his dad, right?
No, I don't know. I gotta look this dude up. I've never heard of this dude.
Because he had one podcast, Cam, but he was interviewing his dad not too long ago. So I didn't know if that was it or not. But yeah, okay.
But man, you talk about deep conversation, man.
Deep. Yeah, you can be a slave to your penis, right? But you know, he was talking about science and all this stuff. So let's just take all of that stuff out, right? We have recessive traits and we have dominant traits. There will be men and women born in this world with the DNA of high testosterone and high estrogen. That's just it. Regardless of how smart they are or not educated, there's just people in this world. We call them nippos, right? There's just
Sky. Hold on, I removed me and Sky. You trying to close this out? All right.
So in reality, there's only two type of kingdoms. There's the plant kingdom and there's the animals. We're not plants, we're animals. You can take the lion, the tiger, the panther, the jaguar. Every mating season, they sleep with a different female. That's just it. They don't stay with them. They might protect their cubs, but they sleep with different females every season. We're animals. We're men species. We're the man animal of our species. And a lot of us just has so much from our DNA built up testosterone that that's all they're gonna ever know is to be slaves to their penises. Because what else are they going to release all this built up testosterone? And that's why a lot of people are athletes, they're police officers, they're in the Olympics to burn some of that off. But think about dudes in the hood that are not that. They don't play sports, they don't do none of that stuff. They have all this pent up aggression. If you ain't had a choice between committing a crime or just sleeping with a bunch of women, I guess I'd rather you go sleep with a bunch of women. So I agree with everything he's just saying, but sometimes it's not linked to depression or anxiety or where you come from. You came into this world, you just had a hell of a lot more testosterone than the average man, and I could see why you out here fathering 20 kids before you 40.
That's diabolical within itself.
Yeah.
You know, the deeper part of what he was saying too is that we did a story 3 weeks ago. Well, it was a licensed practitioner nurse, LPN, and met this young woman. He seen her walking down the street, and he linked up with her. She told him, this is a story about what she was telling him, that she had chlamydia, she went and got medicine for it, she didn't go get retested, and he slept with her and then doubled back and slept with her again.
That's right.
Then asked her after the fact.
Right.
I mean, man, there's some dudes out here, man, that's really playing Russian roulette with their life.
Right.
You know, and they safety. Because, man, I know a lot of dudes, they be like, man, well, if she do have a man, that's not on me, that's on her. No, that's on you too. It's your job to do enough homework to find out, is she really single or is she not?
Right.
You know, why haven't she invited me over to her house? She using all my kids. I don't just like to introduce this any old man to my kids. Why don't you send your kids away and let me come over to your house and see if I'm the only man or if it's another man in that house.
Right. And that I agree. And the 2 times he slept with that lady, that ain't counting the women he slept with in between. See what I'm saying? It's like I knew folks that would literally tell me that they could have sex 5 times a day, go home and still masturbate. Like, that's just how much God had blessed them, so to speak, with that particular thing, sex. And so, since it's a huge part of the male makeup, right, your testicles or whatever, sometimes, like I said, I agree with what he said, you shouldn't be a slave to your penis, you should have some type of mental control. But man, if you shape like a porn star and you can go 4 or 5 times a day, you know what I'm saying? That's just where we at.
I think, man, this plays into a bigger issue also.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of kids have been touched and haven't seeked therapy on it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, man, that carries over into their adulthood, where they just don't have no control over their sexual desires.
Correct.
Something triggered that when they were young, and they didn't get therapy when they were younger, and then they're older now having all these issues.
Mm-hmm.
No control. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm guessing at some point in your teenage years when you learn about it, man, you know, people, they, you know, learn different things about their bodies and they explore. But then you have those who were, you know, man, somebody set off a switch well further than it was supposed to be set off, and they didn't get therapy for that, and then they move along and they, you know, they progressed, and now it's out of control. They don't have no control over it.
And another thing he said that a lot of people say about having men in the home, having fathers in the home, people, there's still a pro and con to that, right? I get all the pros by having a father. But let me tell you something. If your granddaddy was a pimp, your daddy was a pimp, your uncle was a pimp, and all your cousins do is sleep with a bunch of people, there's the men in the household. But this is where you getting all that teaching on how to treat a woman. Now, if she ain't giving you sex, don't do this. If you ain't got a wife and 5 girlfriends, if you see what I'm saying? So that's the con sometimes with having a bunch of men in the home, because you look up to the person that's doing what you grew up to do.
Yeah, because man, the greatest teacher is what you see.
Yeah, absolutely. So I see all the pros with having a man in the household.
Is important, and I watched you my whole childhood bring different men and women to the house.
Yeah, and so I see the pros of having the men in the household, right? But if your daddy has gone out and cheated on your mama 10 times before you was 18, then I see why you cheat on your wife and all your women 10 times. So there's still little cons to having a 2-parent household sometimes. I see all the pros, but the con sometimes is you're looking at these men, granddaddy, daddy, uncles, cousins, and if that's all you see is that, I understand why you do what you do.
Well, and it just goes into like that self-control.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm starting to understand, and I didn't for the longest, understand the importance of religion, right? Mm-hmm. Or Christianity or any of it. But it's really, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm just getting older and things are starting to finally like really make sense, especially in having conversations like these. But it's really making sense to me now of having a connection with God. I'm starting to understand it.
Right.
So.
And even if you don't have the connection, even if you're just spiritual, like he said, every time something happens, it's a teachable moment. I tell people, when your children graduate, it ain't for your children. They can mail the diploma. It's for you. because you made sure that over 18 years they graduated. When somebody died, funerals is not for the dead. They're in a better place. It's you to let you know one day you're going to be there. And this thing that's happened to Shannon Sharpe is a teachable moment for all these young people making all this money in the NFL or doctors or lawyers. Be careful.
Yep, because just like God sent people, and just like God placed people in your life for a reason, the devil do too.
So do. Yep, it's true.
And our last story is, pull this up. So we're gonna talk about Jimmy Kimmel. Okay. And I wanted to say this for last, right? So without further ado, let me go ahead and play this, and then we're gonna talk about Jimmy Kimmel, ABC canceling him, and then man, they putting him back on air. But it's a bigger issue. It's something that I think that went over everybody's head. And we're going to talk about it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into this.
This morning, Jimmy Kimmel off the air. The host seen leaving his studio last night after ABC announced it's suspending his long-running late-night show indefinitely. During his monologue Monday night, Kimmel made comments about the shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, accusing Republicans of reaching new lows in response to the 22-year-old alleged killer, who authorities say had a leftist ideology.
The MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
The comments sparked outrage among many conservatives, including Brendan Carr, the chairman of the FCC, which oversees broadcast licensing for local stations, speaking on Wednesday afternoon, threatening to take action against ABC and its parent company, Disney.
It appears to be some of the sickest conduct possible. I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or, there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead.
Soon after, Nexstar, one of the largest television station groups in the country and currently seeking FCC approval for a merger, announced it would stop airing Kimmel on all of its ABC-affiliated stations. Within hours, ABC suspended Kimmel's show. Carr praising the move later in the evening.
I'm very glad to see that America's broadcasters are standing up to serve the interests of their community.
And on Truth Social, President Trump congratulating ABC for, quote, finally having the courage to do what had to be done. FCC Commissioner Ana Gomez, the lone Democrat on the panel, accusing the Trump administration of setting a dangerous precedent.
We must be careful not to allow the government to punish critics simply because of content.
Kimmel's suspension comes 2 months after CBS announced it was canceling their late-night show with another Trump critic, Stephen Colbert, CBS saying it was a financial decision. Over the last week, a growing number of people have been fired or suspended for their public comments about Charlie Kirk, something the vice president encouraged.
So when you see someone celebrating Charlie's murder, call them out. And hell, call their employer.
But some say what's happening now is a double standard.
Conservatives for many years now have claimed that they are the free speech champions. They have railed against so-called cancel culture. And now you're seeing them lead the campaigns to cancel people that they disagree with.
So Liz, where does it all go from here?
Yeah, well, Craig, it's unclear right now how long ABC plans to keep Jimmy Kimmel off the air. NBC News has reached out to Jimmy Kimmel for comment. He's not responded, and so far he has not said anything yet about this suspension. Last night, many ABC affiliates aired Family Feud during his normal time slot. Outside the theater where Kimmel tapes here on Hollywood Boulevard, supporters say they're planning a protest in support of him later today, Craig.
All right, Liz Courts for us. Liz, thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go.
A week prior to. And then, they had them protests and people started canceling subscriptions to Hulu and Disney Plus. And they lost, I think it was like billions of dollars. And, what happened is they ended up bringing them back. You know what I'm saying? And when they brought them back, because the show nobody was really watching Jimmy Kimmel. Nobody really watched Jimmy Kimmel. You know what I'm saying? And he hit a record number, 6 million views. And so that was that. But you know what that made me? That made me think about something broad, right? I think the people's like, well, it's dangerous, man. That's a dangerous, man, thing that, you know, freedom of speech. I think it's something more dangerous than that. That we have put money over morals. We have placed money over morals. No matter how immorally something is, if money affects it enough, people will put their moral beliefs aside for money.
That's what happened since the beginning of time. Yeah, riches and
because
fame.
They made ABC fold really quick. And the dangerous part I think about that is that those that can control narratives, they are the ones that can force your kid to be learning things in school that you don't agree with and you don't think your kid should learn.
Right.
These are the oligarchs you got to worry about. People that affect money. Because if they can affect money, they can move things the way that they want to move. And that's why you kind of see all this weird stuff that we've been seeing. You know, man, men dressed up as women reading to little grade school kids. This is where you get this at. Do this or else. Do this or else. Because they've been canceling. People say, you know, freedom of speech is everything. Well, why wasn't we saying that when they banned Trump? They banned Trump from, at the time, Twitter. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when have we ever seen the president banned on any platform?
Right.
That may be the first and last time we'll probably ever see that. Louis Farrakhan. So where's all this freedom of speech? Where's all this at in the last 10 years? This ain't something new. Tucker Carlson made a statement and nobody marched in protest when he made this statement that got him kicked off of Fox. Matter of fact, it was Jimmy Kimmel and them that was celebrating. So freedom of speech is they only care about it when it affects them. You can't only care about it when it affects you. Either you're going to be for freedom of speech, whether you agree or disagree with the person, or you not. You can't just, you know what I'm saying, only if I agree with them, then, man, freedom of speech is being attacked. But if I don't agree with them, and, you know, man, they get silenced, they lose their job over freedom of speech, then, man, they deserve it. Rightfully so. They deserve to go ahead and lose that. Remember COVID? People that took a stand. Birmingham was like, I'm not getting that shot. Okay, then, well, you fired.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't just keep moving the needle.
That's true. Moving the goalposts. I guess freedom is just not free. I never believed that freedom was free. And I always believed, even before our currency existed, money, through the beginning of the time, riches and fame always corrupt morality. So that's just the word. That's just the word we live on. And whether it's freedom of speech, whether it's the Bible, whether it's this or that, if it's for you, you will pick out that part that proves your point. And if it's against you, then you ain't worried about it. That's everybody, both sides of the aisle. Again, we're going to go through this as long as we're breathing. Now, should Jimmy Kimmel have got put off? That I don't know. I don't pay his bills. But my thing is, he should have respected the dead. I don't care who you are. Respect the dead. You shouldn't even talked about it. I wouldn't have never even talked about it in my monologue. Anybody that had passed away. Maybe I would have said I'm sorry or my prayers go out to the family, but never talk about the dead. I don't care who you are or when you do it. Even if you're famous or not, just don't do it. So if he's sorry for that, then okay, just next time. If you want to attack a politician that's alive or something, fine. People do it all the time. But when somebody loses their life, then all of that's out the door. I don't care who he believes. That was still a human being. That was somebody's husbands, sons, daughters, fathers. Let's just respect that part and move forward.
Right. And everything, man, we can't make it political.
Right. You can't.
You know what I'm saying? Because politics, when somebody lose their life, that's out there. All that stuff don't matter.
Yeah, all that's out the door.
They have their life. kids don't have their father. The
That's
wife
right.
don't have their husband. You
That's
know,
right.
man, the mother and father don't have their son. That's the most important thing at that time right then. All that other stuff, man, you know, political points, who gives a damn about all that? Most people aren't even paying attention to that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, to me, it doesn't matter what the dude's background was. The thing to me was that you just got somebody that they no longer here. That's it. All the other stuff, it's mute.
Yeah. And America, we're supposed to be the most civilized civilizations, right? We're not a third world country. We're not a communist. We're not all those stuff. Because maybe in those countries, they don't give a damn. They'll probably dig his ass back up and slap him and then, but not here in America. There's supposed to be a line that decent human beings are not supposed to cross. And that's my line, is the dead. Whether I hate you, don't talk to you, you on one side of whatever it is, once they put your body in the ground, walk away. And that's how I see it.
That's it. Nothing else to discuss. I
Yeah.
absolutely agree.
Yeah.
And I want to just say this: whatever you stand for it on both sides. Be consistent. You know what I'm saying? And whatever you stand for, be consistent. Don't. Well, it's not okay in this instance, but in this instance, it's okay. You see what I'm saying? Just like we did two stories where that played a part in. You know, the latest one was this one because people have been getting silenced. Remember when dude Don Imus made that nappy-headed hoes comment? So, y'all wasn't caring about freedom of speech then. What about the LA Clippers? He was in a private conversation and made a comment, and they forced him to sell his team. So you can't talk about the importance of freedom of speech and also his job and company decorum. When you're selling paperwork, you represent a company.
Right.
And so you can't just say anything you want to say. Yes, there's consequences that come with it because you saying something that you represent a company, you saying something that doesn't represent that company on a forum, on the public stage. So yes, if they fire you, they have every right.
That's true. And that's right there, because common sense ain't common no more, right? If I work for McDonald's and I got a Facebook page and I say some stupid stuff, fine. But if I'm working from Disney, that's just common sense. Ain't nobody got to teach me in the classroom. Difference between McDonald's and Disney. If I'm working for Disney, all my social media accounts are gone. You won't find me nowhere. Unless they book my house, you will never know how I feel politically, religiously, nothing. I won't talk about it at the water cooler at work. None of that stuff. Come on, man. That's your livelihood, man. You in a position to do things with that type of money and resources that other people can't do, and you gonna lose it all because of that. It's sort of like with the LeBron James.
Just understand the consequences.
Yeah.
Remember we said this a couple weeks ago, Sky. Freedom is, freedom is doesn't mean without consequence.
Right. So like the LeBron James thing, right? When he was saying things because a lot of them wanted him just to play basketball and shut up. I can see that because you're in a position where a lot of black people will never be. So sometimes you might need to just keep it to yourself, donate money to a charity and let them do the talking for you. But then I'm also with LeBron. He's a human being. He has freedom of speech. He should say whatever he feels like he should say. But like you said, when you're connected to the Lakers, they don't care how much money you make. You can't be going out here saying X, Y, and Z, but yet you're an American. You should have freedom of speech, right? So again, it's a double-edged sword.
You representing the brand. If you want to be politically, if you want to get into politics, leave the brand and then just jump into politics.
Right.
But as long as you're representing a brand or a company, you are speaking on their behalf.
That's true.
And that's why they make you sign that paperwork, man, and they hold your feet to the fire when you say certain things. And you just got to understand there's consequences. And you can do whatever you want, as long as you understand that, hey, man, there's consequences to this.
That's
right. And if you want to go ahead and want to deal with them consequences, it is what it is.
That's true. That is absolutely true. You have to know what you're doing. You know, you have to know who you work for, who cuts the checks, and you just and again, it's okay to be mad at things, but certain things to me you should just keep to yourself because your life, because bills are gonna keep coming every month as long as you breathing, and you're going to lose your job to make people happy who will never pay your bills, right? So let's go back to LeBron. Let's say he says something that a lot of black people say, yes, he stood up for it. And then he loses his job at the Lakers. How many of those millions and millions of black people who supporting you is never going to pay your bills? Make sure your kids go to this private school. All this old stuff. They're not. They're happy that you stood up as a celebrity. But then on the other end, if you lose your livelihood, who's going to come in and supplement your income?
And that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? So,
I'm never against people like that. Those celebrities, they're like, well, he's a celebrity, he don't stand up and he don't talk about this and talk about that. It's not about him. He's thinking about his children, his grandchildren, his great-grandchildren. He's trying to leave a legacy, a trust, a land. And if he falls into what society wants him to do, then what about his family? So sometimes people don't think like that.
That's why I respect Michael Jordan. Because Michael Jordan, he understood the assignment. You know what I'm saying? He know that he's Michael Jordan because of basketball. He's not Michael Jordan because of politics.
Right.
He's not. And I think a lot of them ban a lot of the violence going on. Because, man, I'm sorry, you can't be a millionaire and convince me, you know what I'm saying, that you're going through anything, that you're being oppressed. I want to be an oppressed millionaire hell. I would love to be an oppressed billionaire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so
I've had to shut up for a lot less. So you gonna pay me $1 billion to shut up? Oh yeah, we good to go.
I'll cut my own $10. Cut my own list. Hell. Y'all, I want to thank y'all, man, for hanging with us, man.
Yes.
Glad to be back this Tuesday.
Yes.
Man, Tuesdays is just always awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesdays, I look forward. I got 2 days out of the week. I'm really trying to stretch our channel out to be at least 5 days out of the 7 and grow it more and more. And so I'm working on some stuff right now that once it plays out, I'm gonna tell y'all more and more about it. But man, been having fun over here, especially cutting up the videos and whatnot. So
yes, I like that.
Sky, I'm gonna let you go ahead and do the shout outs and you let us know what you got going on this tonight and in the weekend. And
well, again, let's give a shout out to High Mania, Sky Black, and the Nashville Caveman podcast. We are 2-time back-to-back champions, so I won't have to defend this title until September of 2026. Shouts out to everything you do, Damo. I'm so glad you allowed me to come on this journey with you. I don't take these Tuesdays for granted. Thanks to everybody in the comments. Shout out to Zay and somebody, I can't remember the name, on Instagram. Shouts out to Faith. Who else? Sorry, my damn thing ain't working. John, and I think that was it, right? Was it just them? Okay, but anyway, so shout out to everybody who watched, and don't forget tonight, offtopradio.com, the D Bling Radio Show, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., and then the replay from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., and then don't forget the new shows on Thursdays, Elite One Radio Show, that will play the music that's not being played on Tuesdays. And I still have enough new music to play on that show too. So I'll be promoting that one on Thursdays. And again, like you said, if y'all would just comment, like, share, just, and every Tuesday, man, just kind of, if you're available, I know some of y'all might be at work or in school, but if you can come on here and just have a conversation with us, we really enjoy it.
Man, thank you guys, man. I just wanted to say, man, the only thing guaranteed in life is death. If you woke up on this half of the dirt and you go to sleep on this half of the dirt, please don't forget to claim victory over the day. God bless y'all, man. Thank y'all for being with us. And until next Tuesday, we are out, man. Y'all have a great rest of y'all week. And y'all might want to tune in next week, man, because
I have to give one more shout out, Damo, and to Rocky. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And you said to who else?
Rocky.
All right, man. Shout out to you, Rocky, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. All my people on Bigo that came through, man, thank you guys for coming through and interacting with us. It was hard for me to respond to y'all, but I appreciate y'all being here. Till next week, man. We out. Peace.
No.